All right, Audrey, here we are. This is what I call a nuke yard. See how narrow the beehives are? These are all starter hives, and they start out in a single box. And as they grow, I add boxes to them so that they have enough food and space and bees to get through winter. And you can hear, I don't know if you can hear the buzz, but they're all working, keeping the hive warm. So this is the hive, not this one with the newspaper. I'll explain to that in a text, but I am going to look in it. This hive right here with the orange top on it, it's the one that did not have a queen. So I'm going to open it up, take a look in there, see if the queen that I put in there has been released. She's been 4 days. She should be released from the, I'm going to back up over here. She should be released from the cage that I put her in. But if she's not, that's a sign that there could be another queen in there. So I'm going to have to look if there's another queen in there. So if she's in the cage, I'll probably go get my smoker, and I'm going to have to go down through these boxes and go through every frame looking for this queen. Because if I can find her, I'm going to have to dispatch her and then let the new queen that I bought, let her take over the hive. Because she's already laying. She's ready to build this hive up. And if there's a new queen in there, she may or may not have just mated, and it's going to be another week or a week and a half before she starts laying good. And a week and a half this time of the year is a long time when these bees are waiting to build up, because we're on a timeline now. And this is actually a honey super. You notice how narrow it is? It weighs about 40 pounds when it's full of honey. I inspected through this hive the other day to make sure that they had plenty of room for a new queen to lay eggs, and that they hadn't filled up the box with honey. And if they do, there's a term called honey bound. That means all the brood space is taken up with honey, and there's nowhere for a queen to lay. But even the bottom, you can see capped honey here, and then you see uncapped. This whole frame on the outside of the box is a honey frame. It's usually a honey frame or two, then a frame of pollen, and then the brood chamber is actually in the middle of the beehive. So I'm not looking at every frame. I'm just going to move these guys over, and so I can get in here and check out this queen cell. This queen cage. So when I mash it between the two frames, the bees actually glue it to, they've eaten through the candy. She's in here somewhere. But you can see that little wooden box is a queen cage. I'm actually going to take it off because she's out, and the bees, they've eaten through the candy that's on the end of it. And I'm going to look real quick and make sure she's not on this frame, because she could still fly. She hasn't fattened up enough to not be able to fly. And if I keep her out of that hive, she's going to fly off, and that'll be the end. That'll be $40 down the drain. So anyway, this is a queen cage. Try to get this up here where you can see it. This is a queen cage, and this little end with the candy, with the white paper, that was candy behind there. So they ate through the candy end and released the queen into the beehive. So I'm looking in the cage to make sure she's not in there, that they didn't just eat through, and she hasn't gotten out yet. But that's not the case. So that's the only thing I need to do here today is get these frames back in the box. Queen's in there. And now I'm going to give her till next week this time, and then I'll come back and make sure we got frames full of eggs in here. Because that's the whole purpose of replacing the queen, is to get a laying queen in here so she can get this hive backfilled with eggs, larvae, and bees ready to hatch. So she'll lay eggs. In 3 days, they'll turn into a little larva, And then at day 9, they'll make a wax cap over that larva. And it'll look a lot like cat honey, but it's not. It's baby bees in there. And then around day 23, that baby bee has matured, and it will chew through that capping and crawl out, and they'll immediately begin to feed it pollen and honey and get it on its journey to becoming a honey producer. So this hive, these guys, they'll crawl out, but I'm going to leave them here. This hive was one that I merged another hive with because there was a good quality queen in here, but I didn't have a lot of bees. So I made another hive and split it 3 ways and brought it and put it on 3 different colonies with 3 that needed more bees. So I'm going to take just a quick look in here and make sure we don't have wax moths in here. Those moths love to eat up a beehive. No, looks like we're doing good. I won't worry about pulling this paper off. I know you probably can't see that, but the bees, the sheet of paper that I put between the beehives right here, that's all that's left of it is the trim. What's inside of this box, the bees have already eaten it up and emptied it out front as waste. So they're pretty efficient at what they do. So we won't worry about that one. I checked it a week and a half ago, and it's got a laying queen. And then this one down here was the same way. Let me turn this. Take the key out of the ignition. And then that one down there is the same way. I checked it a week ago. They kept the queen. I did the merge. They ate through the paper. And bees are in there. And there's only about 3 bees out here that I'm feeding on these jars. And the reason is, all of these hives, I don't want them coming over, because see, some of these hives don't have a jar on them. I don't want the ones without food getting the idea of rushing over here and attacking the ones that have the food. So I'm only putting half jars on these weaker hives, and then I'll fill these 5-gallon buckets up here. Got 3 5-gallon buckets. That one, and that one. That's 15 gallons. I made up 45 gallons of syrup before I left the house this afternoon. So that's one of the things I've been doing since I dropped off your honey up there. But anyway, that's 7 minutes and 37 seconds. That's a pretty long video. I hope it's not too talky and too chatty, but kind of give you an idea of what the inside of a beehive looks like and what I'm doing out here. Unfortunately, I didn't get stung to death. So have a great afternoon, and I hope you enjoyed the video.